All right, hi guys. So you just completed a very interesting mini lab where you saw zinc mix with hydrochloric acid, and the outcome were a bunch of bubbles. This whole experience is called a chemical reaction. And we are going to dive into what chemical reactions are, all right? Learn about them and work with them a bit today, okay? All right, let's do it. So to start off, we just need to review what a chemical change is. A chemical change is when the atoms transform from one thing to another. All right. Examples to recognize a chemical change are burning, bubbling, and a color change. Okay? So it's when the atoms transform from one thing to another. Sorry guys here. From one thing to another. Okay? And you can recognize this chemical change by something burning, something bubbling, and a color change. Chemical changes are actual chemical reactions. So it's a transformation of atoms. And we use a chemical equation to represent the change. So it's a transformation of atoms, and we use an equation to represent the change. So here's our equation. A plus B makes C. A and B are what we call reactants. C is what we call the product. Reactants make products. So I think it's really important for you to know that reactants react together and transform into products. Okay? In a chemical equation, you can have something called a coefficient, which are the large numbers in front of the molecules. And we're going to show these by boxing them in. And subscripts are the small numbers after the molecules. Okay, and we're going to represent those by a circle. So let's look at this chemical equation. Okay, so our coefficients is this large 2 and this large 2 on both our product and reactant side. And our subscripts are the little 2 here on the reactant side, the little 2 there on the reactant side, and the little 2 there on the reactant side. So let's take a look at this. So this tells us that we have two sets of H bonded to H. So I have H bonded to H, 2, and then I have 2 sets of them, 1, 2, okay? Plus oxygen bonded to oxygen 1 time. You can assume that there's a 1 in front of that oxygen. Okay? And then that goes and makes 2 H's and 1 oxygen. And we have 2 sets of them. Set 1, set 2. All right. So the coefficients tell you how many sets of the molecules there are. So number of sets. And the subscripts tell you how many atoms in that molecule. So number of atoms in the molecule. Okay. All right. That is that. The next thing you need to do is you need to go to this link and participate in this demo. You're going to learn how chemical reactions can save a life. All right. Good job, guys. Keep working.